You're watching ABC4 News, celebrating 75 years.
Welcome back, everyone. A senior official says the U.S. shot down a Chinese balloon off the Carolina coast. That move ending speculation about what would happen to the balloon days after it was first spotted entering U.S. airspace. ABC's Phil Lipoff has more.
The United States bringing down a Chinese balloon that was traveling across the United States. Earlier today, spotted over parts of North and South Carolina.
I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within the 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down.
In response, the FAA temporarily closing airspace for parts of the two states, issuing a statement that reads in part, the FAA has paused departures and arrivals to support the Department of Defense in a national security effort. Despite China claiming it's a civil aircraft blown off course, U.S. officials insist that is not the case.
But the key here is we don't know what it's looking for. Is it taking pictures? Is it doing signals intelligence where it's intercepting communications? But the thing that's perplexing here is that the Chinese have the ability to do these things from space where they wouldn't be violating U.S. sovereignty.
On Friday, Secretary of State Blinken postponing his trip to China set for next week, saying now is not the time to meet.
I made clear that the presence of this surveillance balloon in U.S. airspace is a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty and international law.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry saying, we respect that. Pentagon officials claiming the balloon has a large bay of technology attached underneath it, about the size of 3 buses, adding it was maneuverable. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
Moving on now to our rest of our national headlines. We go to the case of the monkeys disappearing from the Dallas Zoo, later found in a church closet. Police have arrested 24-year-old Davion Irvin. He's charged with burglary and 6 counts of animal cruelty. Police are looking into the possibility that he is connected to a clouded leopard who also disappeared but was later found. His cage was cut. He may also be connected to a vulture stabbed inside his enclosure, all around the same time.
Our investigation has determined that he is tied to those other cases. The vulture case is still under investigation.
Zoo officials say the monkeys are in a medical quarantine right now. They need to settle back in and be monitored to make sure the stress of this ordeal does not have longer lasting effects on them. Now to more legal wrangling in the murder trial of disgraced attorney Alex Murdaugh. The prosecution hoping to tell the jury about his alleged financial crimes. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has the details.
All eyes on Judge Newman as attorneys await a critical ruling on whether or not the jury will be allowed to hear testimony about Alex Murdaugh's alleged financial crimes in the murder trial for his wife and son. This testimony at the heart of the prosecution's motive theory. The state painting Murdaugh as a desperate man deep in debt who is about to get caught, saying he committed the murders as a way to buy sympathy and time.
The prosecution's case gets a lot weaker if they're not able to show this financial motivation, because a lot of their evidence is circumstantial as opposed to direct evidence. They still don't have a murder weapon. They can't necessarily place him at the scene of the crime at the moment.
The judge hearing testimony about his alleged financial crimes without the jury present on Friday. One bank executive testifying Murdaugh was borrowing big sums of money to hide that he'd been stealing from his clients and law firm.
Did his account run to negative $347,000?
Yes, sir.
And the bank kept paying?
Yes, sir.
Perhaps the most generous overdraft policy ever seen.
And the judge hearing what the prosecutors argue is a stunning betrayal. Murdaugh's own longtime housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, died after an accidental fall at the family's home in 2018. Murdaugh, at the time, telling her sons to sue him for the insurance money.
Did you trust Mr. Murdaugh?
Yes.
Murdaugh giving the sons about $100,000 each. They had no idea he got more than $4 million from his insurance company.
Had he ever told you that there was an umbrella policy for $5 million?
No.
Did you give him permission to steal your money?
No.
Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul were shot dead at their South Carolina home in June of 2021. Murdaugh has always maintained his innocence in the murders, but he also faces nearly 100 charges for alleged financial misdeeds. The judge now weighing carefully how that could impact the murder trial if presented to the jury.
Jurors will tend to think if you did one bad thing in the past, you are probably more likely than not guilty of this new crime. And so that's why that evidence cannot be let in without making a determination that it is relevant to the case at hand.
That was Eva Pilgrim reporting. The prosecution attorneys say they are seeking life without parole for Murdaugh and will not seek the death penalty.
All right, coming up, here's a live look at Deer Valley. Sun's starting to go down. We've got clouds that are going to start to increase as well. We're tracking a storm system. Should be an inversion buster for the valleys and bring heavy mountain snow. We'll track all the changes in the timing. Details coming up after the break.